Matthew Johnson. Thanks for joining us on the Rebelle Live Show.
All right, welcome everybody to stage 3 of the Rebelle Rally. Look at that beautiful dune. We are here in Big Dune, Nevada. My name is Rochelle Croft. I am here with my co-host Matthew Johnson, and we are live.
I'm mostly live.
Only one coffee in. We may need a double this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here from Big Dune. As you've heard, it's Base Camp 2, and we'll be here for 2 nights. It's beautiful weather here. It's quite a bit warmer. We've come down in elevation significantly from where we were at Twin Springs Ranch in Nevada. Some action has definitely been unfolding in the rally so far, and some battles are definitely developing in the scoring side. Depending on the level that you've been, or the time you've been spending following our scoring, you can really get down there and look checkpoint by checkpoint which team got the points, which one didn't. Maybe which team is not going for the X checkpoints and could still up their game by going for X checkpoints. It's a lot of fun to follow and sit and look at the details.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really exciting time. This is when the rally is really, everybody's getting their legs under them. The rally's really starting to take off. Teams are settling in, and every point matters. If teams didn't think every point mattered 2 days ago, they're really figuring out that it matters today.
For sure, and as a previous winner, I've been asking Rochelle about what's a strategy to do well in this rally, and it is to absolute focus right away. Don't leave anything on the table right away, and you might have a chance there in the middle of the week and realize you still have striking distance to the front of the field. All right, just checking out a crossover team, X-Cross 201 there in their Subaru. Lola came by and asked me earlier this morning if getting through Titus Canyon was going to be a smart move for her and her Subaru, and it turns out our event, if I get it correctly, our event is the first event that's been granted permission to transit through Titus Canyon. And it's one of the most beautiful drives on the planet. And all of our teams are going to get to drive through there today on an on-time Enduro. And we're going to cover some of the structure of the competition today here soon.
Yeah, that is a very big privilege for the Rebelle to get permission to do that. And the teams are really excited to see that amazing canyon.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Before we get too deep into today, let's talk about the stage winners from yesterday.
Let's do it. It was a close one yesterday. It was tight. It was a long day. It was a transit day. Here we have 4x4 standings coming up. That is X-Cross. We have for the stage 2 winners of X-Cross, Tana and Verena in the Kia Sorento. Really cool. We were able to see them at the Car Forest yesterday, and they were just all smiles. They were all business, having a good time.
Totally. They were all smiles. We got an interviewed them. It was a really nice interview we're going to put together later for you folks to see. They were all smiles, but we asked Hannah if she had time for an interview, and she looked at us, and just in the most sublime way possible, yes. It wasn't over energy. No. It wasn't too much work. There's just like this really nice cruise speed they seem to be at, and it shows in their performance yesterday. Yeah,
they've got a good cadence going, and hopefully they can keep that running through today and the rest of the rally.
So teams are staged for when they get to go out to their cars based on their start time. So you'll see some teams packing up in their cars, some other teams not yet moving out there, and cars are lining up here to be rolling out starting at 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, how about those 4x4 stage winners? That was a tight race yesterday.
And we had the wrong information at the end of the day even, right? We try to bring you guys provisional results, but there's still things to figure out. So
all right now we have the Benzies mother-daughter duo. This team, we interviewed them a couple days ago, stage 1, and they are just fabulous. So well done to the Benzies for winning that stage 4. They will be the winners of those Pirelli tires.
They'll be stoked about that. They won by 1 point. How many points were on the board yesterday? Like 200 or something?
I would have to double check.
I don't know either. It is a big pile of points. So 1 point is less than a percentage difference in a performance over the day. Really incredibly tight competition there. Also, yesterday we saw 3 different rookie teams in the top 10,
yes,
which is so cool. I don't want to skip over this piece with the Benzies. I remember when they first came to some driver training, and I was helping with the driver training on that one, and Chris was there with a rental Jeep, and really didn't know a lot about dealing with sand and a lot of those things, but she pays attention. They've come from almost no experience of off-road to here leading or winning a day yesterday and within striking distance to win this rally.
Oh yeah, they're going to be gunning for that win, even though I think they are pretty low-key about it. They want to have fun, but that they've got their rhythms figured out. They're always learning, they're always wanting to improve, and they are ones to watch.
Yeah,
for this rally,
they're a team favorite around here. Okay, looking at that Ford Ranger, Team 117, Alicia. I think Alicia's from San Diego also.
Yeah, so the teams this morning drew for their start times. They're not starting on an on-time Enduro.
Okay.
So they got to the finish line last night to base camp. They put their hand in a little bowl of lots of paper, and the driver pulls out a number, and that number is the time that they start. So they're leaving, I believe it's every 3 minutes I heard off the line this morning. Could be wrong on that. It's usually 2.
And is it a pair of cars at a time off the line today?
It looks like it, yes.
Yeah.
It is a pair of cars.
2 cars at a time off the line.
Yes, and those crossovers are headed to the dunes. 4x4 is headed in a different direction. There's that beloved FJ Cruiser, Total Chaos. That team is also a very good team, Rory and Tiffany. They've been here a few times competing.
Let's look at the results there. They had a couple really good, they are 14th right now, it appears, but they had a strong day 1. Keep an eye on them, though. They're not here to just play around. You can tell with that Total Chaos suspension, she's ready to be able to drive over anything there. Speaking of dunes, we're here at the dunes. Crossovers going to the dunes first is no accident. Because for those of you that don't know a lot about dunes, the sand binds together better when it has more moisture in it. So if you're going to send your less capable vehicles, the vehicles with less ground clearance that might have a little bit of harder time in that surface, send them in the morning where the sand's a little bit easier to get around on. They're not going to get that same treatment in Glamis.
No, Glamis is a different story. This is a nice little appetizer to Glamis. This is a little warm-up.
That's a good point. We hit the sand 3 times this week. This is the first time. And there'll be another little blip of sand on our way south. And then obviously the mass ocean of sand that we arrive at in Glamis here in 4 more days. Ooh, 4 more days.
Yeah, 4 more days. All right.
That's great.
I think we've got that drone in the air. We're going to check out that lineup of cars, look at that dust. And while that's going on, we're going to hop over with Emily Miller, the creator of this amazing event, and we are going to get knee-deep into the plotting, the map, what the girls are actually working on, and how this whole competition works. Welcome back, everyone. I am here at Big Dune, Nevada, Stage 3 of the event. Gorgeous day, the sun is rising. And I am here with the founder and director creator of this amazing event, Emily Miller. She is going to walk us through mapping skills, getting those coordinates. This is what the ladies receive every morning, that checkpoint log. They plot them on the map. It determines their course. And this is what they're staring at all day and making their decisions off of, correct?
Correct. And it's a little hard to understand if you haven't been here and have done it. You know that firsthand.
For sure.
And so I would love to walk everybody through what the challenge is today and the tools that they have and the route that they're going to take. And maybe that'll help make some sense of what's going on the tracker.
Yes.
So let's dive in. So what they receive every morning is they receive what's called a checkpoint guide. And this gives them all the information they need for the day. Which maps to use, the total amount of time they have, the declination of the magnetic declination. Then they receive a list of checkpoints and other information too, like Enduro. So, the Rebelle is made up of map and compass challenges and then also Enduro challenges.
Yeah.
And a map and compass challenge, you need information, which is either latitude and a longitude or a heading and a distance from a known point to plot, physically draw and mark that checkpoint on the map. And then an Enduro, which is on time or on route. And today it's both. It starts with an on time and then goes into an on route. And it's a long one. It's a 2-hour Enduro through the famous Titus Canyon.
That's beautiful. Well done on getting Titus Canyon, by the way.
Thank you. And the reason why is because we have a history of being responsibly using the public lands. And so this road book allows them to control their speeds, make it interesting, but then also stay on the route. And it allows them to not bunch up, which is critical. You cannot bunch up in Titus Canyon.
Yes.
So
I want to point out really quick before you move on, this checkpoint log. So look at how many CPs are on that checkpoint log. This is just for today. This is stage 3. So keep in mind, your navigator wakes up in the morning. They get this. They don't get it any sooner than 5 a.m. They then have to plot all of these checkpoints on this map by hand before you even look at what your day is going to look at. I mean, they'll kind of see it as they're plotting along. They'll get an idea of the course. But that in itself can take an hour.
Yes,
or
correct.
more.
And you want to be extremely precise.
Yes.
Today, they are using a 100,000 map. They also have a reference 200,000 map of a portion of the area. And then for the dunes, they have a 1 to 25,000 scale map, which is actually a lot of detail.
Yeah.
So, and we marked these maps. The primary paved roads are marked. Also, this area is marked. There's a critical beetle habitat on the north part of the dunes. So we mark it to make sure that they don't go in that area. But this is the scale. And what it means is 1 unit of measure equals 100,000 units of measure on the land. So what's great is when you're working in the metric system, that means that 1 centimeter would equal 1 kilometer, 1 centimeter on the map. So,
Got it.
So what you do is you use a scale for distance, but then you also have a scale that's used for plotting latitude and longitude. And all it is it's dividing space. And that's kind of an interesting concept. But
it was really a hard one for me to grasp for a very long time.
Yeah, and then once you do, you end up having this incredible skill that most people in the world don't have.
Yeah.
And so they take the coordinate information here in degrees, decimal minutes, and then they use the decimal minute side of the ruler, and they find a latitude line. They measure up from a latitude line to a latitude line, and then you count the scale. So here's 36 degrees, 40 minutes, 0 seconds. So then so up here is 50 minutes. So that's a 10-minute space. This is a ruler that is graduated in 10 minutes, or scale graduated in 10 minutes. So now I can find 36 degrees, 40 minutes, 41 minutes, 42, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 50 minutes. And then I can find the seconds. So it's really tedious.
Yes.
And then you find the latitude line, and then you find your longitude lines. So longitude lines, because they converge at the poles, get our space closer together as you travel northward or southward. So then that's why we tilt the scale. And then we can find, here's 40 minutes, 41, all the way up to 50. So I know that might be a little confusing. So imagine how tedious that is in the morning before you've had enough coffee.
Yes.
You slept in a tent. It was cold.
Yes.
So that's how they plot these. Now, some of these say like 2.7 kilometers at a heading of 280.5 degrees to base camp 2.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, that's a backwards puzzle. Or from CP10.
Yes.
I don't have it out here this morning, but they use an actual plotter, which is basically like a card compass. It spins, it can measure angles, but there are also a lot of different tools you can use to measure angles. You can use a protractor. We don't see a lot of those out here.
No.
But then they need to measure heading and distance and then mark it on as the crow flies from a known point, and then let's say mark it on the map.
So if, let's say this one here, they're plotting this blue 5X from this point. That means from CP4.
Yes.
Which is on the map. But if that green wasn't on the map, they needed to plot this. That means if they plotted that last one incorrectly,
yes,
and took this information from that point, that would be wrong.
Correct.
So you have to make sure all of these are always correct, because even that mistake there could throw off your entire day.
Oh, yes. And really rattle you right out of the gate.
Yes.
Checkpoint 4.
Yes.
So the other thing they're having to do is they're having to make a decision between the regular and the X checkpoint. So here's 5 and 5X. And here's, let's see, 11 and 11X. So they have to make a decision. They might want to plot both points so they have their options, know where they are, but they might not want to take the time. Yeah. A lot of times when you're in it to win it, you don't even worry about the other one.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's a flag marking or a marking in the ground, that blue checkpoint, and you can use it as a reference to, zero in on that bullseye.
Absolutely.
So that's the map and compass challenges. Then the other one that they have, which is really tough to do in the morning.
Yes, it is.
All right.
And this is what they did yesterday morning, right off the line that Matthew and I were talking about. And they had to pack up and move all of their things as well.
Correct.
So,
tough day.
It was a good day.
This day, 98 kilometers, 25 waypoints, and a fuel range. 98. So, which is 98 kilometers. They need that much fuel. This is Rally Navigator Roadbook. There are multiple timing controls. Excuse me. Dust. Multiple timing controls, and these are not in miles per hour. These are in kilometers per hour. And what they have to do is they have to do a math equation of time, speed, distance, and be able to come up with a time that they should be at each waypoint. And that helps keep them on time. So they're having to do that at the same time they're doing this in the morning. People don't realize how hard that is, as you know.
It's very, very hard. And even those waypoints, sometimes the bush might be that you're supposed to turn at. It might be on this side of the road, not this side of the road that you thought it would be. So you're constantly double checking your time, making sure you're hitting that at those increments. And then if something unknown happens, a pothole or a washout, you're slowing down for that. Then you're off your time because you slowed down, or you take a corner, then you're slowing and you have to get back on pace. So it sounds really easy. Oh, you just go 30 kilometers for average that. But you forget when you're driving all of those things that happen.
Right.
That you have to
can't
account
predict.
For. No.
And what it does is it allows us to take a road that might be a high-speed road, but we can't do that. It's not a race for speed.
Yep.
And really brings that speed way down, but makes it really exciting. I mean, it's amazing how exciting it can be to drive, 40 miles per hour on a 100-mile-per-hour road, or 20 miles per hour on a 50. So a lot of focus, also a lot of teamwork.
Yes.
Really helps your communication skills, for sure.
It really does. And your navigator is not only keeping the driver on time, they're also navigating at the same time.
Yes.
Because they can't miss a turn on that road book either.
Right. It's tough.
It's a
I
lot
always
of
say
fun.
the driver is the chauffeur for the Navigator.
Absolutely. That was what I always told Taylor. I'll just get you where you want to go and tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And I will do it safely.
That's why you did it well.
Thank you.
So today, what they're doing is the X-Cross vehicles are going from base camp out into these dunes. We have a much more detailed map of these dunes that they're using. Also, there's an X option for the 4x4s that is out here in the dunes. So we're going to see, like, are they going to go for it? Are they going to leave it because they're coming back to the dunes later today?
Okay.
Are they going to air down? Are they just going to keep their air and get out there, try to get it, not get stuck, and then head on out with the day?
Got it. So that X point for the 4x4s, is that available this morning or later today?
Available this morning.
Available this morning. Okay.
The X-Cross class, they're in the dunes this morning.
Got it.
At the end of the day, the 4x4s are in the dunes.
Got it.
And that allows us, and then some will have that option this morning. It allows us to really separate people, not have people on top of each other.
Which is so important with 52 teams.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So then what happens is they're going to either exit this way if they've been in the dunes or exit this way from base camp. They head up, paved road, come up this direction. This is Area 51 up in here. They have points along this route. They get to the green CP. 4x4s have a critical decision of whether taking a higher point X checkpoint up here or this route. Now you can see what's important that they have to do. They have to actually look at this information and say, whoa, that road goes up and has a lot of elevation gain and descents. It's going to be more technical. It will be slower. They need to know that from reading that terrain and reading the map.
Yep.
This obviously is quicker, less points. They come up, they go this way. They stay out of this mining area where there's mining traffic. Up. Then they may choose to cut out here and go up the main pavement or come around this way for more points to here. At that point, they will go, the X route goes this direction, and then the other route goes this direction or comes down here up this road. They reconvene down here. So, actually, they reconvene right here. So, the X route is really cool. It's beautiful back here, beautiful meadows, and then they make a really steep climb up to a dramatic overlook that just 360-degree views of the valleys in every direction.
Amazing.
They drop down really steep descent right here, and they reconvene here, and then they drop into Rhyolite. Rhyolite.
Oh.
You know Rhyolite.
I do.
I think you guys are going out there today.
I hope so. Could be fun.
Yeah. So the electric vehicles and the PHEV vehicles have an option to stop and repower or fuel. They come down to the pavement. This is the start of Titus Canyon. Titus Canyon is epic. So click the green. If they're on time, then they can go ahead and do the 2-hour loop through Titus Canyon, out, back around, and back to where they started. And then they turn and go out into this valley. Actually, here, down, here, down, back to base camp.
Brings them on back home.
So it's a big loop. It's so hopefully that helps everybody understand a little bit more of what they're facing. Really powerful day, lots of diversity of terrain. You can even just look at the map and know, they've got sand, they've got rocky climbs, they've got beautiful valleys, they've got an extreme canyon descent. So I think it's going to be an awesome day.
It looks like a fabulous day. And I love that there's so many options for teams to take. This is really a rally on strategy just as much as all the skill involved. Because if a team makes a decision, like you said, to go, maybe we'll go the fast way on the pavement so that we have time to do this section because it may be worth more points.
Yes.
Or maybe we do technical because we want these points instead of those. So it's really... This is when teams really start moving around. Those top teams stay very consistent. They're good at time management.
Yes.
And this is where this rally is won on those 1 to 2 point increments because of decisions like these.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing, if you're watching from home today, the thing that you're going to want to watch is what is their time like up here? Because there are a lot of points on the table down at the dunes at the end of the day. They spend too much time here, they're not going to have time here. So they may look at it and say, we want to give up the points here, and we want to be able to have that time to focus on the points down here.
Yes.
And I think you will see some try to do that.
That's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
Plus, you're closer to base camp, although weather today is going to be a factor.
It is.
So we have some huge wind gusts that are supposed to start around noon today, which could cause some conditions. So that's also another factor I'm sure all of these teams are thinking about. Do I want to be in the dunes when it's windy?
Correct. They might even assume that they might not be able to see or even be in the dunes, so they may make that choice to focus here.
Yeah, it's anybody's game today. This is going to be a really good one to watch. You're really going to want to keep an eye on those trackers to see the decisions that the teams are making today. And man, I'm excited.
Yeah, and last year we were in Ridgecrest, and Ridgecrest was day 3, and that split up the day. It was all about strategy. It was a very similar pattern of the course, and that's when we saw the rankings really shake up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us this. This is really, really helpful. Especially, we always talk about how hard this rally is and the skills involved. And a lot of people just probably have never seen that CP or how many checkpoints there are in a day, plus the Enduros, plus the route, plus all the decisions. So thank you so much for your time. And everyone will have a really good day. I know they're going to make good decisions. They're going to be safe. It's going to be a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we had a lot of fun yesterday out on course. And I think we've got a little footage from that International Car Force we all keep talking about.
This is Matthew Johnson. Thanks for joining us on the Rebelle Live. Here we are at the International Car Forest in Goldfield, Nevada, rushing around to get our equipment out. We've managed to find one microphone between us, but we don't want to let Team 152, the top scoring rookie team, get away without asking them a few questions about their tactics and how they're doing so well. Rochelle, give it to them.
All right, so we've got Becky, the driver, Sam is the navigator. What's been your strategy today?
Today we've been mostly relying on heading a distance. I think we've got our ICO pretty well calibrated. It's been pretty consistent for us. So we go the distance, and if we have some good reference points, we'll get out our compass and we'll check it. We'll look on the map, use our plotter, and see where we're at. If we a little bit ahead or behind, and then try and get as close as we can.
So you're feeling good?
Yep, feeling good. It's a lot of back and forth and discussion between the two of us, and checking that gut feeling, right, and everything around us.
Absolutely. Well done. You're taking Emily's advice to heart, so love it.
I got another question for you. Did you expect to be as high on the score sheet this morning as you were? And when you saw that you were, did you change your strategy or your tactics for today when you say, oh, wow, look at us. Should we go for X checkpoints instead of non-X checkpoints? What was on your mind?
So we didn't change our strategy. We were really excited to be where we were this morning starting out, but we want to, if we did well yesterday, let's try and do that same thing today.
Anna and Verena, how's it going today, ladies?
Feeling good. The key is doing amazing. We took it through the canyons, no problems. Super glad to have the skid plates.
It seems like we took a lot of the harder roads where there were easier routes to take, but because of time, we wanted to get there quicker, and the Sorrento PHEV handled.
We got out of a place that I know that all of the rest of the X-Cross got stuck in. My experience with off-roading, I just gave her some tips, and she and the car did it.
I used to race in Rally America too, but this is a whole different thing. I think of stage rally as something completely different than off-road rally, and there's so many different obstacles, and how to approach it is something that I'm learning on the fly and having a blast.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now with you guys, I mean, with the way your standings were this morning, are you guys gunning for the win this week?
Well, I'm trying. I'm going to do my very best, but we were just talking on the way here. You know, it's not always about where you end up at the end. It's about how you pushed yourself and how you improved yourself. And so I always come back to the Rebelle because of what it does to me as a person and how it changes me. So that's I know that's going to happen.
All right, well, that was Tana and Verena. They are the winners of the Stage 2 crossover class from yesterday. Sorry, the X-Cross class.
Are they going to get some Pirelli tires also?
I believe so.
Right? X-Cross winners.
Absolutely.
Clearly not in the competition to win four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your interview with Emily there.
Yeah, let's do it.
If anyone saw that interview and thought to yourself, oh, I was interested and now I'm just bowled over by way too much information, you could be forgiven. I often feel the same way when I watch Emily explaining the maps and stuff. In fact, how I really feel is I just wish I had the time and the focus to sit down and get serious about learning it all, because having the skill to look at a topographic map like that of varying scales and put together a picture of the world and how that kind of translates down to the dirt under your feet is just such a cool skill. If you want to learn more about it, we've got a video on Facebook that's been there a long time that Rebelles that are here competing have used to study. So if you'd like to learn more about that and replay it, check out our Facebook Rebelle account and you'll find some educational videos there.
Yeah, it's really helpful. And then the other set of skills that happens after that map is how do you translate driving to those points on the map? And that's a whole nother thing that that's where that plotter and that compass kind of join the two together. And your odometer, we're always talking about your odometer and your rally computer. So those girls are checking off those kilometers as they're going down the road to get to each of those points. So that's a whole nother set of skills.
Wow, interesting. And I could see you might rely on some of your tools more than your others, and mastery of this really has that almost overhead view where the summation of all of your tools working together gets you there.
Yes, as Tana said yesterday, it is when the package clicks, it's a good package that comes together to make it all work. All right, we got more cars going off the line this morning. That sun is coming up. We're warming up a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna soak that up while we can.
We've got Harry out walking the line. He's going to get us an interview here shortly, but we always love to hear from Harry in the morning. That's like a new piece. It's the Harry in the Morning segment.
Love it. There's that Porsche. Man, so the mechanics had a busy night last night.
Oh, man.
Team 143 with that red Jeep, they actually had an axle break on them yesterday.
I went and looked at it last night.
Yeah.
Before I went to bed at 9:30, and the axle housing, there's the front axle under the Jeep, the tube. If any of you are mechanically, if you know how this stuff works, there's a tube basically that carries the axle that turns the tire around. That tube was broken off of the differential. This is a severe breakage. This is the kind of thing that's you don't usually come back from, and this is why we have the field mechanics we do.
They're incredible.
They've put that Jeep back together, and it's on the start line today. I don't know if it's going to have a shimmy or not, but just the feat that these guys are brave enough to pull that thing apart, weld it back together, and send them on their merry way. Just incredible.
Yeah, it's. I'm really excited that team gets to still compete. Hopefully, they'll probably have a slower day. Probably take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Really baby that thing. And I think Nick, the mechanic, needs a really good nap today.
Yeah, I'll say hopefully none of these vehicles are at the mechanics tonight, and the mechanics get a day off because they've been working yesterday. It's so we can talk about that. What is it about an on-time enduro? You need to be at a good average speed, but evidently it's easy to make a wrong turn and then kind of panic and be speeding to catch up, and quite a few teams fell into this trap yesterday and were pretty rough on their equipment.
Yeah, it's interesting. You don't have to speed up for as long as you think you do. It may be 5 seconds that you need to go a little faster and then bring it back down.
The other piece today, this is going to be an extra challenge about getting off or managing your time, is that we all know there's some impending weather that's coming in. It's supposed to be some high winds. When you get high winds in a place like this, not only are we worried about our tents and our infrastructure, but just plain visibility. High winds blow dust up. You can have a couple 100 feet tall dust wall everywhere. So your visibility takes a hit. And if you're navigating by looking at the terrain and the mountains around you to figure out where you are, all of it becomes that next level of challenge.
Yes, those girls are going to be in for a whole new set of problem-solving skills today. And when you're navigating off of map and compasses and you can't see a heading far off in the distance, you get a little creative. So they may be navigating by rocks on the ground for a while.
Oh, wow. So you could look at rocks and ground features near where you believe you are and just trying to kind of, claw your way along.
Yes.
Leapfrog your way along.
Claw. I like claw.
Yeah. Obstacle to obstacle, though. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's very tedious. It's very long. It's not precisely accurate because you're shortening that distance and there's more room for error there. But if you have to, you can do it.
Techniques from a previous winner there. So again, cars are 2 cars at a time off the line here today, with half of them headed over into the dunes, or at least the X-Cross cars headed into the dunes to begin with. They call it Big Dune because there is one massive dune. There's a few little ones around it, but the area here in Nevada called Big Dune.
Yeah, it looks like someone came along and just threw down a whole dump truck full of sand right in the middle of nowhere.
It is funny like that. You're just driving down the road and you look to the right and there's just a massive pile of sand there. It's really cool. All right, I think we've got a commercial here we're going to jump to, and then we'll see about getting Harry set up and check in with some teams.
Hi, I'm Justin from Wagan Tech, a company that's been in the Bay Area of California for over 37 years. As an automotive lifestyle company, we provide products that give you power, comfort, and convenience for the road ahead. Power means having a hot cup of coffee no matter where you are. Comfort is enjoying your trip. Convenience is having the tools you need when you need it. With Wagan Tech, you'll always be road ready.
At Total Chaos, we believe in pushing everything to the limits and testing everything in our arsenal. We design our equipment to perform in brutal environments and some of the harshest off-road terrain. And because of that, we have been trusted to pre-run every mile of the Rebelle Rally for the last 6 years. Welcome to the chaos.
The Rebelle Rally is the longest competitive off-road navigation rally in the U.S. It is remote, unique, and extremely challenging. When we launched the Rebelle, we needed a robust, multi-function tracking system to serve as the backbone for course and safety operations. Unique to the Rebelle, it also has to interface directly with our real-time scoring system. The tracker must be reliable, durable, and never fail, combined with superior customer support. We chose Iridium-based YB tracking. It's the best product and the most experienced people. YB tracking has been a critical component of our safety and success since day one.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here live, stage 3 of the 6th edition of the Rebelle Rally at Big Dune, Nevada. I am your host, Rochelle Croft, and I'm here with the lovely Matthew Johnson.
I like it. So I think we've got Harry out in the field. For those of you just tuning in, Harry Wagner, raised on the Rubicon. He's got a bunch of off-road Toyotas himself, loads of off-road experience, and he's the perfect person to be bringing you details about our different competition vehicles. And he's out with one of the teams with an interview. So let's jump over to Harry. Are you out there?
Thanks, Matthew. Yeah, I am here. We're at the start line. Team today are leaving 2 at a time at 3-minute intervals, and we're here with Team 153, the Tacoma Bells. And can you tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to most today?
Yeah, I'm most looking forward to our Enduro challenge. We're going through a canyon that no race has ever been allowed to go through, and I hear it's super scenic. Part of it will be on time, and then the rest of it will be just on course. And so we'll get to enjoy the scenery, kind of get to slow down a little bit, and really looking forward to that.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have to look at a map the whole time and you can take in some of the views.
I hope so.
And we're expecting some wind out there today and weather. Have you made any special preparations for that, or what have you done to ensure your tent will still be here when you get back?
Yeah, Stacy took care of that. She put some extra stakes in. We have a lot of weight in the tent. We have a lot of stuff. You can imagine we overpacked. We're rookies. So we have a lot of stuff in there, and we're hoping it weighs it down and that the extra stakes will keep it down.
And can you tell us a little more about that? So, I mean, there's a lot of rookie teams here this year, and you're learning already. So what can you share with the audience that you've already learned on this event? What would you do differently next year?
Oh, man, I would pack a lot lighter. We're learning that you don't have time to really shower every day, change. You know, it's kind of gross, but it is what it is. And I think I would have practiced plotting a lot more. The first day was rough. It was more stressful because I wasn't in that groove. But finally finding that now, I think I would have practiced triangulation a little bit more as well. And maybe practice working with sleep deprivation. That's about it.
Well, thanks. Just that information is really helpful, and you're next up off the start line, so we'll let you get in the zone and have fun out there in Titus Canyon. That's it for now. Back to you, Rochelle and Matthew.
Awesome. Thank you, Harry. Jess and Stacy there, I was on some training that they were at. They're both Toyota engineers. I believe it's Jess that's actually handles some of the rear bump stops development and engineering. So moving on here, actually I have Rochelle has run away and Chrissie Beavis has run in here. Chrissie runs the scoring for the event. She handles the rule book for the event. She rewrites the rule book before the event. She is a person of many duties here on site. But what we're here to talk about right now are our checkpoints and our scoring and a little bit about how scoring looks for today. Do we have a slide about our checkpoints? We'll just cover really quick our green, blues, and black diamonds. All right, our checkpoints explained is bouncing up here any moment as we get a few precious moments with Chrissie Beavis here. Okay, our green checkpoints, these are worth the most points. They're the easiest to find. They keep the rally on route. They are staffed, and so if we need to get any message to the competitors, this is how we do it, is through the green checkpoints. Often I'll go there in the middle of the day because I know I'm going to find competitors coming through to chat with. Blue checkpoints, harder to find. Often they are a flag. Sometimes they're a post in the ground. Do you guys get sneaky with the blue post sometimes?
Absolutely. So the blue checkpoints, since they're quite a bit harder than the greens, but they are still an object that the teams can go and find on the course, the blue checkpoints are sometimes a flag, but oftentimes they're just a pole in the ground, and that's very small, and when you're out there amongst bushes and rocks and things like that, it can be very hard to see them. We also put out fake ones, so they're not very close to their existing ones or their actual ones, so they can tell the difference if they know where they are, but they can't just go picking any blue checkpoint and just signaling on it. It might not be theirs.
Now, if they signal at the wrong blue, do they just get a, what do you call it?
It's called a wide miss penalty.
A wide miss penalty. Okay.
Yeah, so that means that they are not at their checkpoint. And a wide miss penalty can be anything from signaling at someone else's blue or a fake blue checkpoint to missing your black diamond checkpoint all the way, or not knowing where you are and needing to find your latitude and longitude, which is listed on the tracker.
And how big is that penalty in
it's
points?
10 points.
Okay, and it's 10 points all rally every day?
All rally every day, yep.
Okay.
Doesn't matter why you did it or what it's for, 10 points.
And then moving on, our black diamond checkpoints, worth the least points.
Yep.
But you must be going and getting them if you're going to be in the win for this thing.
Right. They are small and precious, and they are out there, and you can't see them. There's no marking on the ground, and they just have to know where they are. And They have to signal their tracker when they think that they're in the middle of that bullseye, and we call it a bullseye because the center of that bullseye is worth the most points, and from there on out, it steps down and it gets less and less points all the way out into a large radius of 0 points, where they don't get a wide miss penalty, but it's 0 points for that black diamond.
Thank you very much for that quick explainer about our basic checkpoints. Now let's talk about some of your job of being judge and enforcing our rules. Yesterday we had several teams fall into the trap of getting feeling like they're behind and depending on higher speed than was suggested. Actually, you have a speed limit, right?
Yeah, so the teams do have a speed limit out there.
Tell us about penalties handed out yesterday. Did we hand some penalties out?
No, we did not hand penalties out yesterday, mainly because everyone was speeding. And so we set these speed traps along the course, and what we had yesterday was actually two interesting spots, one where no one was speeding and one where everyone was speeding.
Got it.
And so rather than handing penalties out across the board, all the teams got a talking to last night by Emily. They all said that it was pretty rough, and that it was kind of like when your parents are disappointed in you. They all felt pretty bad about it.
I was there. I was listening. I've been doing my job here on the live team, and I felt like I had been a bad boy to listening to Emily talk to all the teams last night. All of us did. Rochelle did, standing beside me. We were all just kind of like, oh, man.
Yeah, we had a lot of contrite teams last night.
Cool. Really quick, we're about to bounce to Harry again, but I want you to tell us, for folks following at home, about the Enduro sections. We've got an on-time merged with an on-route.
Yeah, so what you guys will see today is there's a large section that goes through Titus Canyon, and that's where our REC goes today. And the way that you'll tell is there is one checkpoint that is really far out to the west, kind of hanging out by itself. So when you guys are looking at the YB tracking, you'll see that there's one checkpoint kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, and you'd be like, why would anyone go all the way out there? Well, they're also getting REC points for that whole section. So we have an on-time REC followed by an on-route REC. That checkpoint is on the on-route REC. It's about 45 kilometers into that REC. They just have to know exactly where they are based on their odometer, and if they know where they are, they can signal their tracker at that REC and get full points for it.
Thanks a lot for that explainer. You can see teams trickling out. If you're following YB Races, the tracker this morning, you can see teams trickling out into the course. We're going to keep an eye out for that Titus Canyon route in the REC, and there'll be interesting pile of points at the end of the day as they use their route books to follow the tulips and hopefully stay on course there. Chrissie, thank you for your precious time to join us. Hopefully we'll get you back again tomorrow or the next day.
Got it.
Cool. Harry, we'd love to come hear from another team. What you got?
Thanks, Matthew. Yeah, I'm here with Team Hoenn Adventures 109. So, original Rebels, Johanna and Susie, in the brand new Defender 90. This thing still has paper plates on it. So, can you tell us where someone can get one of these if they want one of their own?
I sure can. They can go to Land Rover Carlsbad.
All right. Yeah, I would love to have one of these. How is it working so far out there for you?
It's working great. It's really nice to have a shorter wheelbase than what we're used to, and still playing with all the features, so it's a learning experience.
I imagine, yeah, and I'm sure you'll learn more today because it's going to be the first time you've had it in the sand, right?
Yeah.
So what is your expectation, or are there settings, or what's your plan in the sand dunes? I know you were just airing up your tires.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing more sand later this afternoon when we come back to this area. But for sand, there's a sand mode, so that's pretty easy to figure out. And then I turn the dynamic stability control off so that the car doesn't try to give me more traction and bog us down.
Gotcha. And we noticed you were airing up your tires. You had the compressor on. We'll let you move up in line here. And if you need to air up again, I mean, that's fine. I'm curious what sort of pressures you're running and your strategy in that regard, too. If you can explain to people at home how changing your tire pressure changes how the vehicle performs.
When it's softer sand, we let air out of our tires depending on how soft the sand is and how hot it is. we didn't have to go down. We only went down to like 28 yesterday, but on a really like hot, really loose sand day, we'd go down to 16 or 18. Hopefully we don't have to do that today.
Hopefully not. We'll save that for Glamis. And I keep reaching across to you here, Susie, but tell us a little bit about what your plan is for the day. What are you looking forward to the most?
Man, we've heard a lot about this Enduro through, I forget what it's called, the Titus Canyon. We've both never seen it, and we're super excited. So, yeah, we're just going to try to get all our checkpoints.
Yeah, no, I think that that's a good plan, and hopefully you can look up. You don't have to look down the whole time. I think it's so special that this event goes through a national park, you know, in the way that Emily does it, where you have to maintain a certain speed. I mean, that ensures to the national park that they don't have to be concerned about the rally speeding. As we've always mentioned on the show, it's not a race. So hopefully those speeds will allow you to really take in the views as well.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
Awesome. Well, have a great time. We're letting you move up in line and get your game faces on, and we're going to go back to Rochelle and Matthew.
All right, thanks a lot, Harry. We love hearing from teams on the line and see their bright faces as they're ready to get another big day of competition under them. Rochelle, so why don't we throw out our socials so folks know how to catch up with us, interact with us.
Let's do it, Matthew. All right, if you want to follow us, it's Rebelle Rally, at Rebelle Rally. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, also rebellerally.com/live, where you can find the live show schedule, all of the lives we've done earlier this week, as well as all the ones to come. We will be here tonight as well. And you can subscribe on YouTube, Facebook to get those notifications for those on-course hits. Hopefully we'll get one of those done today out on the course.
You know, and we should remember to plug this show because you can go back to YouTube and see stuff that we've recorded in the past, right? If you're not watching this live, and then near the beginning of the show, we interview Emily Miller, and there's like a long 10-minute piece. If you want to know how this event works, we go through the map, we go through the route books, we do all kinds of stuff to really speed you up to give you an idea of the complexity of the navigation necessary to come and succeed at this event. And before, you know what, I think we might even be able to go back to Harry, but we're going to show you this from one of our sponsors really quick, and then we'll find Harry.
Hi, I'm Justin from Wagan Tech, a company that's been in the Bay Area of California for over 37 years. As an automotive lifestyle company, we provide products that give you power, comfort, and convenience for the road ahead. Power means having a hot cup of coffee no matter where you are. Comfort is enjoying your trip. Convenience is having the tools you need when you need it. With Wagan Tech, you'll always be road ready.
At Total Chaos, we believe in pushing everything to the limits and testing everything in our arsenal. We design our equipment to perform in brutal environments and some of the harshest off-road terrain. And because of that, we have been trusted to pre-run every mile of the Rebelle Rally for the last 6 years. Welcome to the chaos.
The Rebelle Rally is the longest competitive off-road navigation rally in the U.S. It is remote, unique, and extremely challenging. When we launched the Rebelle, we needed a robust, multifunction tracking system to serve as the backbone for course and safety operations. Unique to the Rebelle, it also has to interface directly with our real-time scoring system. The tracker must be reliable, durable, and never fail, combined with superior customer support. We chose Iridium-based YB tracking. It's the best product and the most experienced people. YB tracking has been a critical component of our safety and success since day one.
The Rebelle is this incredibly unique proving ground because it's so authentic. It will throw everything it's got at a person, a product, or a vehicle and that's weather, temperature, altitude, and terrain. The Rebelle really gives people and companies a chance to try their vehicle in every type of environment that it was designed to be driven in. People don't realize that these are engineering masterpieces. Especially in the women's market, it's really important that the Rebelle is not a watered-down event. It is tough for anyone at any level.
I have a lot of respect for the other women who are in stock vehicles because this is not easy.
I love that it's an opportunity for ladies to get together, to challenge themselves mentally, physically. The 8 days of competition is extremely demanding. You get an opportunity to step out of your comfort zone and push yourself to the next level.
The Rebelle is designed for the vehicles in our driveway, not for race cars, tube chassis vehicles. They're street legal cars that we drive every day. It was great to see the engineers at Honda really step up and say, this is where we want to test our vehicles.
At Honda, everybody has such a specific expertise within the company, and so this really allows them to, get a broader vision and exposure to the vehicle as a whole rather than just their own specialized component.
I really love our partners because they want our feedback. They want us to tell them what's working and what isn't working. We went the extra mile with this proving ground by putting in our technology partner, Mapbox.
It's a really exciting opportunity for us to get to work through the hardest questions that we have as a company trying to build a platform. What we need is to be able to give human beings better ways of making decisions and interpreting information. And so this is a really good, very close feedback loop between the paper map and the human being, and then you have to go out into the real world and find that place.
Seeing what's on the map versus how we've designed it is really a proving ground for what is our understanding of what a map means to someone.
What Mapbox is able to do is to take all this data and be able to put it into a map and a dashboard that companies can literally show to the world, or they can be sitting in an office halfway across the country or the world and be watching real time or near real time their product performance. And that is unique. It may be this analog event, an analog competition, but it has this incredible technology backbone that we built into it. We don't say that the Rebelle is going to change your life. We just say that we've created a platform and it's your movie. But what we've seen and how we've seen people change is incredible.
I thought I was going to come into this learning a lot about navigation and driving, and I think the biggest thing I've learned about is about teamwork and perseverance and, letting other people believe in you more than you believe in yourself until you believe in yourself as much as they do.
Crossing the finish line on the final day of the Rebelle Rally is a badge of honor because you have just gone through everything that we could throw at you, and you survived it. I always say that the Rebelle is like this Wizard of Oz journey, that whatever lesson you need to learn, it's going to be handed to you on the Rebelle.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 6th edition of the Rebelle Rally. We are live at Stage 3, Big Dune, Nevada. My name is Rochelle Croft. I'm here with Matthew Johnson. That was a pretty cool video. I I would say this is definitely one of the best proving grounds I've ever seen because of the longevity of this rally.
Yeah, sitting out here in the desert with this view and then watching that video, it reminds me why we're all here. It's incredible what we get to do here. We are in the longest off-road rally in the country, and it is an incredible proving ground for not only vehicles, but some of the aftermarket parts on the vehicles. And it's a proving ground for humans out here also.
Absolutely. Well, I think we have Harry lined up with one more interview before they head off the line. All right. Not quite ready.
Yeah, they're still setting that one up. After we're done here, I'm going to be heading out into the field. You're going to be heading out in the field. I don't think we're going to be on the same show here. Okay. Harry's ready. Harry!
I was just trying to build some anticipation, Matthew.
Nice one, man.
We're
Good.
here with the CanToy Divas, last year's winner of the International Cup, and we don't want to show favoritism, but my pick again this year to win the International Cup. So as part of winning that, my understanding is that a donation is made to a charity of your choice. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And so last year, what was your charity?
It was the breast cancer. So it went to our local cancer office, BC Cancer Foundation.
That is so great. And can you tell us a little bit about, I know yesterday was a rough day for a lot of teams in that Enduro out there. Was that the case for you as well? You're returning Rebels last year, kind of drinking from a fire hose as rookies. And how'd it go yesterday?
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Best day ever.
It was really awesome. Yesterday was our best Enduro and best scoring day to date. Like, both rallies so far. So
I like how you said to date, because today I think you're going to do even better.
We're so excited for today. We've heard all about the terrain and we're just stoked.
Yeah, we are definitely.
Yeah, that's one of the things, right, that really sets this event apart, I think, from others, is the places that Emily and Jimmy and the rest of the course setting team find.
100%. I mean, the last 2 days have been epic, so I'm just expecting more epic everything.
It's not a race.
That's right.
And you have to kind of take a moment and just look where you are.
Yeah, it's amazing out here. We are so lucky to be
Don't cry.
I'm not going to cry. I've said I'm not crying this year. I cried a lot last year.
Oh yeah. I mean, yesterday we saw the crater?
Day before.
It's already.
They're kind of blending.
But I mean, even our
it's just
fellow
epic.
competitors are just fantastic. A couple times we've met up. We had a little Toyota Tacoma clan going through some area.
Yeah, we had 3 Tacomas in a row and we go, yes! This is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we do accept tears of joy, so we'll let you get ready for the start line and have a great time out there today.
Here we are.
Hi to my grandbabies at home. Hi, grandbabies. I love you. And sorry, Olivia, I missed your first birthday again. Love ya.
Yes, her only granddaughter was born on day 0 last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you do it for her today.
Absolutely.
We'll head back to you, Matthew and Rochelle.
All right, thanks, Harry. Man, I love those ladies. They are so much fun. They always have smiles on their faces, and they're such a joy. So thank you, Team 144, CanToy Divas, for hanging out with us. And we wish your grandbaby a very happy birthday.
It reminds you that each team, every person out here has their own story about something significant in their life that they're giving up or working around or whatever, because they come to the desert for almost 2 weeks a year, and they commit to doing this for themselves. And you could see the sense of satisfaction from their performance yesterday, and like having done a whole year here last year, the highest scoring day yesterday. It's got to feel really good for all the hard work.
Absolutely. That's a really good feeling to know you're improving, you're getting better. You had your best day. They have their probably own personal goals that they're setting, and who knows, maybe that grandbaby will be a future rebel someday.
It's a pretty good chance even. When we're like flying around like Jetsons through the desert or something. Who knows what that's going to look like in 20 years. Rochelle and I were just chatting about, we both decided that day 3 was Fresh Pants Day. How's it feel?
It feels good, Matt.
We looked at each other last night. We're like, our pants are really dirty. I've been wearing these a few days. It's time to get some new pants out.
You know, we're right along with those rebels. We're having our own rebel rally on staff. And, I pack the same amount of clothes as I would as a competitor. and I'm still doing the same things. I just have my phone now.
What a great morning. Nice to share these mornings and afternoons with you, Rochelle. This evening, I think we're planning to come back at 6:45. There's been discussion due to the weather. We may be set up inside with a backdrop here inside a tent. We're just going to see how that turns out here. Now that we've made a big deal about the weather, maybe it'll just change its mind and go somewhere else.
I hope so. I hope we jinxed it enough that it's not even going to be an issue.
That'd be great. All right, so we've had a few interviews this morning. We've chatted with Emily and gotten a great view of the whole course of what's going on today. If you rewind to the beginning of the show and then about 5 minutes in, you'll probably find the interview with Emily if you'd like to have a really nice idea of how today works.
Yeah, that was a really nice overview. The strategy, they put a lot of time and effort into making these courses the best that they can. And I would encourage anybody to go back and watch that interview just to get an idea of what these ladies are doing every day, day in and day out for 8 days.
And sometimes at 5:30 in the morning.
Yes.
So I believe you're heading into the dunes?
I'm headed into the dunes. I can't wait.
And I'm heading up on course to a massive vista, a big, beautiful place at a blue checkpoint, and hope to grab some teams up there later. So hopefully you'll be seeing some stuff, little tidbits from us live here in the middle of the day, and then we'll be catching you at the finish line at 6:45, if we're lucky.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see what the day holds. I'm very excited to see everyone then. I'm going to send out good vibes into the universe. Everything's going to be fine. We may be inside, but it'll be good. And all these ladies are going to have a fantastic day. I'm going to go catch some X-Cross in the dunes and go take a watch. I'm excited to get out there.
And just before we sign off, I want to say happy birthday to my sister, Erin. If you're able to check this out, happy birthday. Sorry I can't be with you today. I hope it's great.
Happy birthday, and we will see you tonight, 6:45. We are live from Big Dune, Nevada, Stage 3 of the Rebelle Rally. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, I'm Justin from Wagan Tech, a company that's been in the Bay Area of California for over 37 years. As an automotive lifestyle company, we provide products that give you power, comfort, and convenience for the road ahead. Power means having a hot cup of coffee no matter where you are. Comfort is enjoying your trip. Convenience is having the tools you need when you need it. With Wagan Tech, you'll always be road ready.
At Total Chaos, we believe in pushing everything to the limits and testing everything in our arsenal. We design our equipment to perform in brutal environments and some of the harshest off-road terrain. And because of that, we have been trusted to pre-run every mile of the Rebelle Rally for the last 6 years. Welcome to the chaos.
The Rebelle Rally is the longest competitive off-road navigation rally in the U.S. It is remote, unique, and extremely challenging. When we launched the Rebelle, we needed a robust, multi-function tracking system to serve as the backbone for course and safety operations. Unique to the Rebelle, it also has to interface directly with our real-time scoring system. The tracker must be reliable, durable, and never fail, combined with superior customer support. We chose Iridium-based YB tracking. It's the best product and the most experienced people. YB tracking has been a critical component of our safety and success since day one.